This is the Spittin Wa by River2Sea, and it's the 55 series. I received one of these recently in the color leopard from my September tackle grab, and I liked it so well that I went ahead and got this one in bream and then this one in the dirty white. So I'm going to open them up and we're going to look at them. Now these are poppin' frogs, so they're frog lore, but they spit and they chug and they walk and do all that good stuff here. Let me let you see the color here. This is the tag, and it tells you what the size is and that it has the River2Sea hook and what the size of that is. So let's go ahead and get into this one. Focus a little bit here. And you'll see that on these poppin' frogs, it's got a nice little lip here, and the lip is soft plastic or soft rubber. It's not actually a solid, so I think it's a little bit more flexible. I'm not really sure what the benefit of that is, but it seems to work pretty well. And then it has these little holes in the side here that water can move through, and it comes down through these channels in the side, and it creates a nice little bubble trail. This has a nice color on the underbelly, sort of a soft, sort of yellowish color. And here's where the hooks come in, and it has a covering on the hooks here, which seems to keep some of the water from coming in. They don't fill up quite as easily. And this is a pretty soft body. You can see that when the fish bites down, it exposes those hooks pretty well. So I really like that. The interesting thing about this particular one is that the leopard one that I have feels a little firmer than this. This actually almost feels softer than that particular one. I don't know if it's the color or what, but this one feels pretty soft. It's not quite as soft as my Copper's Live Target, but this particular one is pretty close. And here you see the skirt, and you can see the size of the skirt. It's not quite as long as some of, well, yeah, I guess it is. So you can trim that a little if you like. Some people like to trim it right up to the top of the frog here. Really good colors. And I really like this one. So we'll go ahead and open the other one and have a look at that. And here's the tag here in dirty white. Now that seems to have a different size hook. Again, it's a River2Sea hook, but I think that's interesting because it's the same size. It's a Spittin Wa 55, but the hook size appears to be different. Okay, so here's that frog, and it's a white, solid white with just some black here along the sides. Not really sure how much of a difference that makes because this right here is basically what the fish is going to see. So it has the same lip and it has the same, you know, bubble channel there. The legs on here are green and chartreuse and a little bit of white, and they're the flat silicone ones. They feel pretty good though. So what happens when you're using these frogs is, and I think the reason that some people like to trim them is when you're pulling them along and you go ahead and pause because you're going to want to, you don't pull them solidly across, continuously. And when you pause, these little silicone skirt here sort of flares out. And then when you pull it straight again, it sort of goes together and then it sort of flares out. And I guess these longer legs, some people feel, can create some drag. Also, sometimes they feel like they can lose a fish if the skirt is too long. Like if the fish is going to suck it in, it just sort of gets, I guess, hung up. I'm not exactly sure how that happens because they feel pretty soft to me, like they just go in, but that's what I've heard. And a popular way to cut them is either to cut them straight across to about yay much, or to cut them at an angle to give it sort of a different sort of action on that. But this one feels pretty soft too. So I wonder if it's just that leopard one I have, where the rubber's kind of different. Again, not as soft as my Coppers, not as soft as even the Matsuo America one that I have, but it feels pretty good. looks pretty good. So those are the River2Sea Spittin Was. Just for curiosity's sake, I went ahead and pulled the leopard one out of my frog box, and thought maybe I could show you. It has the yellow and the sort of a pearl color down here, some brown stripes, and this is a really vibrant one. I really like it. But as I'm doing this, sure enough, this particular Spittin Wa is pretty firm. The rubber really isn't as soft as this one. I'm really curious as to why that is. But even this one is quite a bit softer. I mean, really. And then this one is not as much. Interesting. Very interesting. Anyway, so I thought I'd just check that out. But this is the leopard. So give you sort of an idea. One thing, actually, the weights are right here on the bottom. In case you don't know, that sometimes these can actually pop out. That actually hasn't happened to me yet, but I've had a few friends tell me about that. And I saw a review online. Someone had said you could put a little bit of, what is it, like glue, like a Gorilla Glue or something on there. But I don't know how that would affect the smell. I don't know how sensitive fish are to that, or if that would just, you know, go away over time, or if that smell would linger. So if anybody has any information on that, I'd be interested to know. Leave it in the comments. Or if you could tell me if you've had any experience with, you know, some of these being pretty firm. I mean, I guess it's going to be a real durable frog, but it would seem like you'd have a harder time, you know, getting a hook set on that with it more firm like that, versus same brand, but much softer. Anyway, just was kind of curious.